Hello everybody, it's Jeremy and I'm back with the actual video, which I haven't done one of these in a long time, it seems like. Crazy Monkey Boy 9898 is a YouTuber out there who I think is one of the coolest YouTubers there is. And he has just posted a Two Truths, One Lie video. So can you guys please go check it out and guess which one is the lie of his three truths, supposed truths. And it's a tough choice. All three of them sound very believable the way he told them. Yeah, go check out his video. It is awesome. He's awesome. Please comment on his video of which one you think is the truth of the three that he, or no, which one is the lie. Yeah, there's two truths, one lie. It's confusing. So anyways, I did one of these a long time ago, and now this is the sequel. Dun dun dun. So I don't know. This might be too easy. I don't know. I'm hoping it's a challenge, and hopefully at least a few people will make a guess. Alright, so let's do this. Alright. But the object of the game, if you guys have never, I'm sure everyone's seen videos, like, I mean, everybody has done one, it seems like. But I'm going to tell you three stories, and all three of them, I'm going to pretend like they're all real, right? All three of them. Well, one of the three is a lie, and you have to guess which one that lie is. Okay, so those are the rules. And then you could comment below, and also you can do a response video and do your own. Or it doesn't have to be a response video. It could be like, you know, your own video on your own channel, and you could do your own two truths, one lie. And of course, you gotta go to Crazy Monkey Boy 9898 and do his, guess his. Okay. All right, let's start this. The sequel. It's Halloween is just around the corner. I think it's like next weekend. I think. I'll make the first one a Halloween memory that I have. I love Halloween. Halloween is like one of my favorite holidays, and I used to love going trick-or-treating because you could dress up in like cool costumes. I was always like usually a professional wrestler. I was the Undertaker one year, and it was fun because you could just be anything you wanted, and it was fun. So anyways, there are two rules to Halloween that I've learned. Number one, if you go to the rich part of the neighborhood, like the wealthy, the people with the big houses and the fancy cars and junk like that, those people will sometimes give you actual candy bars, like full-size candy bars, not the little tiny ones, full-size candy bars. So that's one tip for anybody going trick-or-treating next weekend. Do that. Go to the wealthy people. Okay, tip number two. You know, at the end, like they always have trick-or-treating like from 6 to 8 p.m. or every city's different. It might be, I don't know, but ours was always like 6 to 8. And so at 8 o'clock, always go a little bit over the deadline, because what happens is people will get rid of all of their candy at the end. Because like 8 o'clock hits around, they still have like a decent amount of candy. You go ring their doorbell, they're like, oh, it's over. They'll just dump it in your bag. So those are my two tips for people out there going trick-or-treating. Go to the wealthy houses, and then go a little bit after the deadline. Okay, so anyways, a lot of rambling, but I'm going somewhere with this. My first truth is that one Halloween, I did both of those things, and I was rewarded very nicely. Let's just say I got paid $20 to go trick-or-treating. That's right. What happened was, it was like 8:05, right? And we just got done with the rich people, and we're sort of walking away, and then we're like, oh, let's do one more, because we saw this really big house's light was still on. Because most people turn their lights off at around 8:05. So I'm like, Mom, this house still has the light on, right? So I was the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz this year. And my mom liked to make the costumes because we didn't really buy any, we made them. So I had this huge cardboard box around that we cut a hole and put it over, so my whole chest was a box, and then we put aluminum foil on it, and then we did silver paint on the face, a stupid little hat. I was the Tin Man, for God's sake. But it looked sort of cool. So we went up there, me and my brother, and the guy opens the door. This sort of old guy, not super old, but he seemed nice, and he's like, oh. He like was confused because he thought trick or treating was over, and we're like, trick or treat, and he's like, is it still going on? And we're like, your lights on, and he's like, oh, I don't have any more candy. I gave it all out. So we were like ready to just turn around and all right, that's okay, no big deal. And then he takes out his wallet, and he's like, well, let's see what I got. and he's going through his wallet, like, and we're like, what is going on? Because we're, we get candy. Sometimes we get pennies. Some people put pennies in our thing. Cheap skates. So anyways, and then he pulls out a $20 bill, and he's like, well, boys, this is all I got. So here you go. I think he actually said you could fight among yourselves for it or something. So he gave us a $20 bill. That's the first time I ever actually got money, besides pennies and nickels. But I got a $20 bill for going trick-or-treating. That was like the best Halloween ever. Okay, truth number 2. As most of you know, I'm a huge wrestling fan, pro wrestling, and one of my dreams was always to be a wrestler, obviously. And the big backyard wrestling craze that was going on for a while. I wanted to be a wrestler. So me and one of my friends, we decided to have an actual backyard wrestling match. There's 2 things important to this. Because you're saying, well, okay, you had a backyard match, but who cares? But there's 2 big things that happened during this match. No, 3 things. 3 big things that happened during this match. Or during the whole incident. First of all, we did a pre-show interview, and I was like pretending I was hosting a cooking show because my character was like, I was a bad guy. And my opponent, who was played by Brent, one of my friends, he comes in, he takes eggs, throws eggs at me, dumps flour all over me because it's a cooking show. So there I am on the ground and covered in eggs and flour, so that was fun. Okay, then the 2 things, the actual match that happened. A, I jumped off a roof onto a car. Not the smartest thing to do. And number 2, to make it even worse, it was a hair versus hair match. That's right. So somebody's head was shaved, and you could probably guess whose it was. I shouldn't give away the ending of the match, but yeah, I got my head shaved. It was a hair versus hair match. I jumped off of a roof onto a car, and before in the pre-match interview, I got dumped on with flour and eggs. So yeah, that was my backyard wrestling moment right there. It was fun though. Okay, truth number 3. Okay, everyone knows I'm a sports fan. Basketball's my favorite sport, but there is a sport that I love to play. It's called tennis. I always play basketball because you only need one person for basketball. Just yourself. You can go out, shoot some hoops, because I didn't really have anybody for a while to play with. So tennis is a 2-person game, which I always thought. So I probably never got into it. But then we moved, I think, and there was a park, and it had a big wall up, right? And what you do is, you hit the ball to the wall, boom, it comes back, boom, 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 boom. So, yeah, I could play tennis by myself now. So I just had fun with it. I went there like every day and just hit the ball. And I never in my life had tennis lessons or played tennis for any program or school or any of that stuff. And then one day we saw in the newspaper they're having a tennis tournament in the city. And my dad was like, oh, you should enter, because I played with my dad all the time too. He's like, you should enter. I'm like, yeah, right, I probably suck, against actual tennis players who have had lessons before. And I'm like, all right, it might be fun. So, anyway, so me, I had no experience playing actual tennis against anybody except my dad, and I ended up finishing second place. That's unbelievable. Yeah, it was the beginner's level, so it's not much to brag about. But still, second place is pretty good for because everybody else in the tournament like actually was in school for tennis or have had lessons, you know. But anyways, yeah, so that was cool. And I was in the newspaper, not my picture, but my name was saying I finished second. He's a loser. He didn't finish first, but no, it was cool. And the sad thing is the person I lost to, I could have beat him. I think I could. He wasn't. I don't think he was all that great. I got like sort of nervous, cause tennis it's 1-on-1 and like people were around and I like sort of froze. I got nervous. I know I could have beat him though. Ugh. And I couldn't serve worth a crap. So, I can't serve at all. It's horrible. It's like a 10-mile-an-hour serve. It seems like. So yeah, that's where he got pretty much all his. Most people, when they're serving, that's their advantage, you know. But I don't want to serve. It's like you serve. But anyways, all right. So those are 3 truths. So to recap, truth number 1, I made $20 going trick or treating. Truth number 2, I wrestled in a backyard wrestling match, jumped off a roof onto a car, got eggs thrown on me, flour thrown on me, and lost my hair. Truth number 3, I was in a tennis tournament, finished second place, despite not having any tennis lessons or training ever. So yeah, that's 3, yeah. Those are the 3 truths, but one of them's a lie. Which one? You gotta guess. Put the number 1, 2, or 3 down below. Good luck. And don't do that until you go to Crazy Monkey Boy 989 video, which I will put a link down below if I figure it out. So you go to his video first, guess on his, and then come back and then guess on mine, okay? This, when I started filming, I'm like, I'm gonna make this quick because I didn't want to make it long, but it's very long, isn't it? Sorry about that, guys. Anybody who actually watched this whole thing, you're awesome. All right, talk to you later. Utah Jazz start up next week. Go Jazz. Peace.